ability to those weapons. So you're not really making them from scratch. You might want to consider it a bit of reforging or a bit of, say, modification of that weapon. So, because we know that we got to keep our crafters happy, not only in the beginning of the game and not only in the middle of the game, but obviously at the end game as well. Because, as you reach close to soft cap, or you do reach soft cap, I know players are going to call that end game, right? And if it is end game, which it really isn't because it is soft cap and we'll be adding other things over time, of course, the crafters have to be able to do something. And so they'll have other skills that they will unlock that will allow them to take existing items and make them more powerful without having to make everything from scratch. Question, will weapons not live forever? Absolutely. That's also part of it. Weapons are not supposed to last forever. But we don't want the crafters and new players and new combatants certainly don't want to have to run to the crafter every few days to get a new Mjolnir. That would be bad. That would be very bad. So I think the combination will work well. Will there be specific paths for the warriors that would grant a level of self-healing? Whatever healing that there will be for non-healing classes, including potential hybrids, will be very limited and will not take the place of healers. I can't be clearer than I have also from the beginning that healers are a very important part of this game. And not buff bots, not heal bots, but actual players who are healers. And we have said we won't go down the path of giving powerful heals to all the classes out there, or even the paths out there, in our case, because that makes the healers kind of not important and not necessary. So, no, we're not going to do that. Will specific weapons have any sort of status effects associated with them, like bleeding, additional disruption from Randall? Yes. The answer is absolutely yes. Will we be able to rename weapons so everyone is not using Mjolnir? Well, the moment that I allow people to name a weapon anything, of course, in the case of a hammer, I expect we would see a hell of a lot of Mjolnirs running around. From a cavity, will paths be similar for similar classes across the three realms? In some ways they have to be, in other ways they won't. Certainly, sword attack, basic sword attack is a basic sword attack, nothing really special. Boy, you're swinging for somebody's head, you're swinging for somebody's torso. But then there'll be differences in the other components that you would associate with the sword attacks. Cooper Killer, if I'm wearing a closed helmet with your face shield down versus up, could that affect vision? That'd be awesome if we can do it. Kusha, could your spear be a raven and then transforms into a spear? I don't want to say no to that because it's not a bad idea, certainly. But we've been clear that anything that gets too close to pets could be an issue. I would like to have ravens. We've talked about that already in spirits, but don't want to promise anything yet. Even having the automated or semi-automated sword in the Path of Freya gets close to that. But I think that's manageable versus having, the menagerie that follows you around like in some games. Even though, actually, I enjoy having that in some games, just not in this one. Rhaegar, if I unlock some of the Odin path and some of the Thor path, can they help each other? In other words, can you get benefit from in one path that can help the other? Absolutely. From Gondrum, are you considering the TDD's 4 treasures as potential paths? Nothing to see here. Move on. Spartamus, how difficult will it be to obtain a respec for your class line? That's another thing we've been very clear about from the beginning, that cheap and easy respecs are not part of this game. Certainly we got some negative feedback on that during the Kickstarter, and we've got a negative feedback as well since the Kickstarter. We're going to stick to it. Cheap and easy respecs, especially when combined with this kind of a pass system, would just be an invitation to have a huge flavor of the month problem. And we do not want to go down that path. From Joel Decay, can it be considered a slow way to respec? Absolutely. Does Thor equal lightning? From Cruzade. Yeah, it might. Shindoris answered your question, actually. From Rhaegar, the answer is maybe. Can you use one-handed plus a shield and two-handed? I think that would certainly be part of the shield path, that you can go dual wielding or single wield, but that's something that obviously I don't have any idea on yet. Originally it was going to be a one-handed shield, one-handed shield and a one-handed weapon working together. And then Richard kind of pinged me on the whole dual wielding shield. So I think that that is absolutely worth exploring. Sorry, I'm still sticking the questions really just about the warrior and the path system right now. So if you're asking questions that don't have to do with it, I don't mean to ignore you, but I want to stick with these for now. Oh, come on, McCavity. You know I'm not going to answer that right now. Will there be any pull-type powers from Randall for the warrior class? We certainly haven't discussed them yet. It's something that certainly other games have used successfully as well as not so successfully. That wouldn't be my first ability to work on. I don't want to eliminate them. I think they might have some occasional use, but I'm not as excited about them here as I might be in another game. And for those who haven't looked at my document yet, based on some of the questions, please go up to our website and grab the PDF, because some of the questions that have been asked are really answered not only in the main document, but just the FAQ. So if you're pressed for time, just go grab the document and check out the FAQ. Our internal testers were fantastic on this, very, very helpful. Gave us a whole lot of good suggestions, including the FAQ. And so, you know, grab it, please. Sacrix, are you hoping to have a guard ability? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. From Black Hat, will I be able to use thrown weapon as siege mechanics? A siege machine, sorry. Yeah, I have no reason why you wouldn't be able to use Mjolnir to try to take something down. But again, keep in mind, it's just a hammer, even if it's a powerful hammer. So it won't be like, hey, Mjolnir's like a catapult. Tricon, could there be some ultimate ability associated with any of the paths? The answer is probably no, because the moment you do that, you make it non-optional. Okay, the moment you put some really powerful, some really cool ability just on the path, then people will justifiably be able to say, but wait a second, you said this was optional, Mark. It's not really optional, because the only way I can get into a group as a path of Thor is if I have that ultimate ability of Thor. Dominatum, are there any Drengr skill components that you really are excited about? Oh, so many. Dual shields could be a heck of a lot of fun. I think Mjolnir is going to be a lot of fun. I think the warrior class for the Vikings is going to be, just a joy to design. From Juke, will there be a way for abilities to be combined and work together in the same way that group spells can, that we've talked about? Absolutely. Makes sense, doesn't it? Will non-pathers be able to get cool-looking weapons? Absolutely. Again, folks, just think of the paths as an overlay to all the things you were doing before. I think I described it in the document in a manner similar to those old movies, or even, Con Air, where there's the secret message was hidden within a very, normal-looking message. The guy put a template over it, and the words that were important came up. That's the best way to think of the path system. You are still working with the same components that you would be without the path system. It's just that, when that template is put on your character, you go, oh, look, I've accomplished all that. And you get some stuff for it. That's really the easiest way to look at it. Smackish, will dual shields have blades on the tips to kill players with? Actually, that was something I discussed. On RPG, will special weapons bonds unlock new component options for tweaking skill customization? Very possibly. Quick question about the particle effects on weapons that I hope I got right. It scrolled up very quickly. Will that scale potentially with the skill of the crafter? In a perfect world, the answer would be yes. It would absolutely be yes. This is not a perfect world. Our world is trying to make sure that above everything else and anything else, that frame rate for this game is awesome. That's what we need. So anything that could potentially have a real negative